Welcome to Korean Step by Step. In this first lesson, we'll learn exactly how the Korean alphabet works. And by the end, you'll be able to read your very first Korean words all on your own. First, what is Hangul? Hangul is the Korean alphabet. It was created in 1443 by King Sejong the Great, and he designed it on purpose to be simple so that ordinary people could learn to read quickly. That's great news for us. Here is the single most important rule. Every Korean letter is a little square block, and inside each block there is an initial consonant, then a vowel, and sometimes a final consonant at the bottom. To make it clear, we always color the consonant blue, the vowel red, and the final green. Let's meet our first letter. This consonant is It sounds like the H in hat. Try it with me. H, H. Now vowel, this one is
어,
It's an opener sound, like the A in father. Now let's combine them. The consonant goes on the left, the vowel on the right, and together they make
huh,
just like that. One more piece. This consonant is
더,
It sounds like N. When a consonant sits at the bottom of a block, Koreans call it a bachim, a final. Now we add the final to the bottom of our block, and we get our first complete syllable.
한,
Initial H, vowel A, final N. Han. You just read your first Korean block. Look at the colors. Blue is the initial consonant. Red is the vowel. Green is the final. 3 parts, 1 block. Let's learn 3 quick letters to build our next word. First,
해요.
a soft G sound, like ingo. Next, a vowel that English doesn't have. CO, but pull your lips flat and relaxed you. And this one is a light sound between L and R. Let's stack them. G plus EU gives us Q, and then we add the final L at the bottom to get
굴,
do. Now put our 2 blocks side by side. Han plus Jiao makes,
한글,
and that is literally the word Hangul, the name of the Korean alphabet. You just read it. Your turn. Look at the screen and read it out loud. I'll wait.
한글,
한디요. Nicely done. Before our next words, meet a special letter. At the start of a block, it is completely silent, just a placeholder, but at the bottom, as a final, it sounds like ning. Now real words, G, A, and the final, an E, give us a word that means river.
강,
This one starts with M, the vowel U, and a final L. It means water.
물,
SAN, this word means mountain.
선,
Sometimes a consonant is doubled, like it's a tensor, tighter K than the normal one. Tense K, the vowel U, and a final M. Give us a beautiful word that means dream.
꿈,
Quick check. Read these 3 out loud before I say them.
강, 물, 산,
River, water, mountain. How did you do? Remember, the final is optional. An initial and a vowel alone already make a complete block. Like,
가,
just 2 parts and it's perfectly complete. So where exactly does the consonant sit? It depends on the vowel shape. If the vowel is vertical, the consonant goes on the left. If the vowel is horizontal, the consonant goes on top. And any final always goes at the bottom. Here it is in a table. With the left stacked vowel we read.
가,
With the top stacked vowel we read.
구,
And adding a final at the bottom gives us a word that means bear.
꿈,
One last key idea. Each block is exactly 1 syllable. So if you count the blocks, you've counted the syllables. The common greeting
안녕,
is 2 blocks and 2 syllables. Let's recap everything. Hangul stacks letters into square blocks. Each block is an initial, a vowel, and an optional final. Vertical vowels put a consonant on the left, horizontal vowels put it on top, and one block is one syllable. Best of all, you can already read Hangul, Gang, Mo, San, and Kun. Here's your homework, using everything you learned. Read these 3 blocks out loud. Take your time, sound out each part, and tell me in the comments how it went. That's a fantastic first step. Head to Korean.mycorepic.com to practice this lesson with native audio and quizzes. In the next lesson, we'll learn the full set of vowels and consonants. If this helped, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Welcome back to Korean Step by Step. In Lesson 1, you learned that every block needs a vowel. Korean has exactly 10 basic vowels, and in this lesson, we'll learn every single one, with its name, its romanization, and an English sound to copy. Let's begin. First, the big picture. Straight from the lesson, Korean has 10 basic vowels, and here's a key rule. The letter makes no sound when it sits in front of a vowel. So whenever we want to write a vowel by itself, we add a silent. That's why we write.
O.
Here's a little extra background that makes them easy to remember. Every Korean vowel is built from just 3 shapes. A short stroke for the sun, a flat line for the earth, and an upright line for a person. Watch for these shapes as we go. Let's see that rule in action. We take the silent, add the vowel, and write. Because the is yes. It simply sounds like the vowel A. Now let's meet all 10 vowels one by one. Vowel 1, its name is Read an A, and it sounds like the open father and open a. Vowel 2, the stroke points left. Its name is
O.
Written EO, and it sounds like the O in sun. Vowel 3 sits below the line. Its name is
O.
Read as though a roundel like Ingo. Vowel 4 points down. Its name is
O.
Written you like the U in moon. Vowel 5 is the flat earth line. Its name is Written EU. The sound isn't in English. Spread your lips wide to the sides, almost like a Thai smile, and say E. Vowel 6 is the upright person line. Its name is
E.
Written, I like the E in C. That's the 6 simple vowels. Now, the lesson gives us a wonderful shortcut for the last 4. The vowels R, Zh, are simply A, and with a short we sound added, and you can see it. Each one just has 1 extra stroke. Learn 4 more for almost no effort. With an extra stroke becomes
Ya.
yeah, like in yard. Or with an extra stroke becomes
역.
yo, like the yo in ya. With 2 strokes becomes yo, like in yo-yo. And with 2 strokes becomes you. It sounds just like the English word you. That's all 10 vowels. Here is the whole table from the lesson in one place. The letter, its name and romanization, and an English word to copy. Let's say the 10 in order.
O, U, I, Ya, Yo, Yu.
Your turn. Read the 6 simple vowels out loud before I do.
O, U, I.
Well done. Let's come back to that. Because the lesson explains why. A Korean block must start with a consonant to have a complete shape, so when a vowel has no leading consonant sound, it borrows the silent as a placeholder. That's the whole reason we write a EOO as.
아, 오.
One more important idea from the lesson. The basic vowels also split by shape. And are tall vertical vowels. U, are wide horizontal vowels, and this shape decides where the consonant goes. To the left of a vertical vowel, or on top of a horizontal one. You use this in every block you write. Now let's read the real vowel words from the lesson. This one means child.
아이,
This one means cucumber.
오이,
This one means fox.
여우,
And this useful one means milk.
우유,
And one more real word. It means infant or young child.
유아,
The lesson also gives us pure vowel combinations for practice. Read these three out loud, sounding out each vowel.
이요, 야요, 오야.
Let's recap everything from the lesson. You learned all 10 basic vowels. The Y vowels are just the others with a short Y and one extra stroke. The silent lets a vowel stand alone, and the vowel's shape, vertical or horizontal, decides the layout. Best of all, you can now read real words like A, I, O, I, yo, you, and u. Here's your homework, using only today's vowels. Read these three out loud and post your answers in the comments. Take your time and sound out every vowel. 2 lessons down and you can already read Korean vowels. Head to korean.mycorepig.com to drill these with native audio and quizzes. In the next lesson, we'll add the 14 basic consonants and start building vowel syllables. If this helped, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Welcome back to Korean Step by Step. You already know the 10 vowels. Today we add the 14 basic consonants. The lesson reminds us that a consonant only makes a sound when it meets a vowel, so we'll read every consonant joined with a vowel. Straight from the lesson, there are 14 basic consonants, and a consonant has no sound by itself. It needs a vowel. So as we meet each one, we'll attach the vowel and read it aloud, like ga, na, da. Each consonant also has a name, and we'll learn those too. Consonant 1. Its name is.
기역,
The gaze sound with it reads.
가,
2. Name.
니은,
The sound.
나,
3. Name.
디귿,
The sound.
다,
4. Name.
리을,
A lighter sound.
나,
5. Name.
미음,
비망 sound.
마,
6. Name.
비읍,
The ba sound.
바,
7. Name.
시옷,
The sound.
4.
8. Name.
이응,
Silent at the start, so it just reads.
아,
9. Name.
지읒,
The G sound.
자,
10. Name.
치읓,
A breathy chi.
차,
11. Name.
키읔,
A breathy kai.
카,
12. Name.
티읔,
A breathy T.
타,
13. Name.
피읔,
A breathy paw.
파,
And 14. Name.
히읗,
The sound.
하,
Here's a neat pattern the lesson points out. Most consonant names follow an IU shape. The consonant is used once as an initial and once as a final. So you hear it sound twice. If it comes
니은,
and becomes.
미음,
But 3 names are irregular, so just memorize these. Gief's is,
기역,
is,
디귿,
and is.
시옷.
One pronunciation tip from the lesson: the consonants spew, dig, and just sound a little harder, like K and T, at the very start of a word. But between 2 vowels, they soften to G and D. So don't worry if your GU sometimes sounds like a K and sometimes like a G. That's completely normal. Here's a reference table of the consonants with their names and sounds. Let's read the first row of syllables together.
가나 다라마바사.
Now, real words. The first 3 consonants with 에 give us the Korean version of A, B, C.
가나다,
This one means the sea.
바다,
This one means meat. Listen to that second softened to a G.
고기,
And this one with a breathy chi means skirt.
치마.
Your turn. Read these 4 real words from the lesson out loud.
나무, 구두, 포도, 사자.
Let's recap. You learned all 14 consonants and their names. Most names follow the IE rule, with 3 irregular ones to memorize: ga, da, and ja. Harden at the start and soften between vowels. And a consonant plus a vowel makes a full syllable, so you can now read words like ganada, bada, and gogi. Homework: use the breathy consonants and read these 3 out loud. Then share your answers in the comments. Amazing! With vowels and consonants, you can now read real Korean. Drill them with native audio at korean.mycorepeak.com. Next lesson, we'll add the complex vowels and the tense consonants. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Welcome back. Now that you know the basic letters, the lesson adds 2 new groups: complex vowels, made by combining 2 vowels and tense consonants, pronounced harder. After this, you can read any Korean syllable. Here's the plan, straight from the lesson. First, complex vowels, which combine 2 vowels into a single sound. Then tense consonants, called donsori, where we double a consonant and say it harder. Nothing here is truly new. It's all built from what you know. First complex vowel, e, written A-E. It sounds like the E in bed. The lesson's example is the word for dog.
개,
Next, written-y, the example is the word for yes.
네,
And here's a relief. The lesson gives us, in modern Korean, and a sound almost identical, both like the E in bed. So don't stress about telling them apart by ear. Instead, just memorize how each word is spelled. That's what native speakers do too. Some complex vowels are a quick glide between two mouth shapes. As the lesson explains, glides from into to make wa and glides from into eat to make woe. You move your lips within a single block. Let's read them. Well, the lesson's example is the word for fruit.
과일,
Woo. The example is won, the Korean currency.
원,
Why? The example is the word for air.
귀,
Two more. Sounds like we, as in.
네,
And Britain UI appears in the word for chair.
의자,
Here's the table from the lesson. Let's read the example words across.
개, 네, 과일, 원, 귀, 의자.
Now the tense consonants, as the lesson says, you write the same consonant twice and pronounce it harder. And tense your throat and don't let out a puff of air. Let's hear each one. Harder than.
까,
The example word means ground.
땅,
Bill, a word you'll use every day, Dad.
아빠,
C. Harder than. The example means seed.
시,
And the example means fake.
가짜,
Here's the three-way contrast from the lesson. Plain, breathy, tense. Listen.
가, 가, 까. 다, 타, 따. 파, 파, 빠.
The lesson gives a great trick to feel the difference. For breathy sounds like and. Push out a puff of air like fogging a mirror. For tense sounds like and. Tighten your throat and release no air at all. Air for breathy, tension for tense. Let's read more real words. With tense, this is what a girl calls her older brother.
오빠,
With tense, this one means rabbit.
토끼,
Your turn. Read these three out loud using today's tense consonants and complex vowels.
땅. 가짜, 과일,
Let's recap. You learned the complex vowels, where A and now sound almost the same, and the W vowels glide between two shapes. And you learned the 5 tense consonants, doubled and hard, giving a three-way contrast. You can now read every Korean syllable, including words like dog, yes, fruit, and rabbit. Homework. Read these 3 out loud, using today's new sounds, and post your answers in the comments. Incredible! You can now read every Korean syllable. Practice these sounds with native audio at KIED, at EIKIE, RV at ballpeak.com. Next lesson, we'll master the final consonants. The Batchim, like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Welcome back. You can read any syllable now. Today, we mastered the final consonant called the Batchim, which sits at the bottom of a block, as the lesson explains. Any consonant can go there, but the actual pronunciation collapses into just 7 sounds. A Batchim is simply the consonant at the bottom of a block, shown here in green. It makes the syllable's ending sound. Take the word for rice or a meal.
밥,
Initial B, vowel A, and a final at the bottom. Here's the surprising part that lesson highlights. Almost any consonant can sit in the final position, but when it does, it collapses into just one of 7 representative sounds, and a final is stopped, held in your mouth rather than fully released. Let's go through all 7. Sound 1 is key, the letters gi, and at the bottom all become a stopped key. The lesson's example is the word for book.
책,
Sound 2 is ning from fun song, like the word for mountain.
산,
Sound 3 is t, and this one is sneaky. 7 different letters at the bottom all become a stopped t. Look at this word. It has a final, but it's pronounced oat, meaning clothes.
옷,
Sound 4 is L from sol, like the word for water.
물,
Sound 5 is M from the lesson's example means night or a chestnut.
밤,
Sound 6 is P from R. Back to our first word, rice.
밥,
Notice you stop on a pa. It's bap, not bap. Phew. And sound 7 is in from a final. Remember, it's silent on top, but ning at the bottom, like river.
강,
Here is the full table from the lesson. 7 sounds, the letters that make each, and an example. Memorize these 7, and every bachim becomes predictable. K, N, T, L, M, P, and G. Here's the key tip from the lesson. As finals, the letters S, S, J, and all turn into a stopped sound. So even though it's spelled with, the word for clothes is pronounced ot, and the word for light is pronounced bit. Let's read the real words with finals. This one means Korea.
한국,
Watch a representative sound in action. The word for kitchen is spelled with a final, but that becomes a plain stopped K.
부엌,
And the word for flower is spelled with a final, ch, but remember the rule. As a final becomes a stopped T, so it's pronounced.
꽃,
The lesson also mentions 2 trickier types. Some finals are doubled, like and o Fortney. And some are clusters of 2 different consonants, like eat volaning. For now, don't worry, just pronounce one representative sound. You'll only hear one of the 2. One last point the lesson makes about how finals feel. The stop sounds g, now, are not released. You close your mouth and simply hold. For example, the final point in bap is made with your lips shut, stopping the sound. Unlike English, you don't pop it out as bap poo. Your turn. Read these 4 and remember to stop cleanly on each final. Notice net ends in the, so it's pronounced net.
사람, 집, 발, 낫,
Let's recap. The bachim sits at the bottom of a block and makes only 7 possible sounds. K, N, T, L, M, P, and N. Many letters collapse to the same sound. For instance, and all become a stopped T. And every final is held, not released. You just read 7 real Korean words. Homework. Read these 3 out loud and tell me in the comments which of the 7 final sounds each one ends in. Watch out for B. You're almost a fluent reader. Practice the finals with native audio at korean.mycorepic.com. In our last alphabet lesson, we'll learn how Koreans link sound together to read smoothly and naturally. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you there. Welcome to the final alphabet lesson. You can read every syllable now, but sometimes Korean sounds different from how it's spelled. Today, you'll learn the one rule that makes Korean flow smoothly, linking called yeon, in. Here's the whole rule. Straight from the lesson, when a block ends in a final consonant and the next block begins with a vowel, that is, with a silent, the final consonant slides over and becomes the first sound of that next block. The empty just gets filled in. Watch this in action. The word for the Korean language is spelled 한국일, but the final key slides into the empty, so it's actually pronounced
한국어,
한국조. The guy jumped over. Here's the word for music. It's spelled 융ak, but the M slides over, so we say
음악,
Mac. Linking can even bring back a final's original sound. By itself, good is stopped as but add a subject marker, I and the true theta slides over.
꼬치,
Kukuchi, not Cuddy. Same idea here. Wood plus I becomes
옷이,
OC with the sliding over. And the phrase meaning at home links the P over
집에,
GB. Why does this happen? As the lesson says, Korean simply prefers smooth connected speech, and empty is like a gap, and the final consonant naturally fills it. So you read the spelling with your eyes, but link the sounds with your mouth. Just this one rule makes your pronunciation far more natural. The lesson adds one detail for cluster finals. Blocks with two final consonants. When a vowel follows, only the second consonant slides over, and the first one stays put as the bachim. For example, the verb 읽고 is pronounced
읽어,
읽죠. The L stays and only the G moves on. And one important exception, linking happens before a vowel, but a final never slides over. It stays put as a nasal on G, so the word for puppy is simply pronounced as written.
강아지,
갱징 holds in place. Your turn. Read these three with linking the way they actually sound.
발음, 직업, 단어,
발음, 직업, Daniel, beautifully linked. Let's recap. When a final meets the next blocks, it slides over, so 한국에요 becomes 한국지요. With cluster finals, only the second consonant moves, and a final always stays put. Read the spelling, link the sound, and with that, you have finished the entire Korean alphabet. Congratulations! Last homework. Read these three, with linking and post how they actually sound in the comments. You did it! You can now read Korean. This was the last alphabet lesson, so be proud. Continue your journey with vocabulary, grammar, and real conversation at korean.mycorepic.com. Thank you for learning with me. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next course.